Good evening and welcome from South Sound Stadium for this evening's USL 2 Northwest Division matchup between the Tacoma Stars and your FC Olympia Artesians. The season is coming to a close for all of our Artesian teams today. The USL 2 men's team, they're coming into tonight's match with a 3-6-4 record and are out of the playoff positions after finishing in the top 16 nationally last season. After a road win at Capital FC Atletico on June 28th, the men have been 0-2-2 in their last 4 matches. However, they only lost by a single goal in both of those matches that they dropped. Let's take a quick look at the standings here. Currently, Ballard and United PDX are in the first and second place and are into the playoffs. Ballard, in fact, just won today against West Seattle 2-0. So, again, they will lead this division and get into the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Tacoma Stars, who we're playing tonight, they're in third with a 6-5-2 record. And Olympia finds themselves just one position out of the last spot in the division. Kind of a down year for us, but the boys have definitely played hard all season, and we're very proud of what they've been able to do. So on the field right now, they're announcing the lineups, and let's go ahead and do the same. Let's take a look at our opponents, the Tacoma Stars, a brand new side for the 2024 season, at least in the outdoor ranks. Their new head coach is a bit of a legend in the indoor game, playing for the more well-known indoor Tacoma Stars, as well as being a captain for the United States men's beach soccer team. That is Nick Pereira. In fact, for a brief time, he was actually the general manager of the Seattle Reign of the NWSL. So quite a pedigree for Pereira. All right, starters for the visiting Tacoma Stars. Number 2, Felipe Souza. Number 4, a familiar name, Manny Nicasio, who played a few games for the Artesians earlier this season. Number 6, Cody Carmel. Number 8, another familiar name, Willie Spur, an Artesians legend from our indoor team. Number 11, Orlando Erazo. And number 12, Alexander Copy. And I'll pause right here as we have our national anthem down on the field. All right, and we're back. We'll finish with the starting lineups for the Stars and get to our lineups as well. I was about halfway through with the Stars. Also starting for them, number 13, Juan Mendoza, 14, Sebastian Navarro, 15, Mason Abdella, number 20, Ethan Conedy, and number 32, Nathan Admasu. All right, let's take a look at our starters for the FC Olympia Artesians. They will be playing in a 4-2-3-1 formation. We'll see how good my intel is. I'm going to try to announce the lineup by position here. Well, we at least know who our goalie is for tonight. That's number 1, Avery Olson from Everett Community College. Along the back line, almost positive, we'll see Farhan Mustafa at left back, Tanner Dutra, the captain, as one of the center backs, Cade Weatherby from CSU Maritime will get a start out there. And at right back, number 15, Sebastian Suber. Both of those outside backs and Tanner Dutra have been doing such a great job this season. In the midfield, we should see number 16, Enrique Guerrero from Seattle U, and Lucas Seimerling from Jackson High School. Up top in the attacking band, we'll see Chad Savdi from the University of Washington, Nathan McKenzie from Everett Community College, and out wide, number 23, Tyler Aldred of UC Santa Cruz. And up top, the leading scorer for the Artesians, Leonard Falk from Seattle U via Germany. Key players for tonight for the Artesians, Tanner Dutra, the captain and the anchor for the back line. He's been in every game so far. And Leonard Falk, whose 4 goals here with the Tacoma Stars goalkeeper Nathan Admasu getting looked at. Well, we have another break in play here. I just want to shout out our two women's teams that we have in our Artesians program. The USL women's team, their season came to an end last weekend. They traveled down to California to play in the playoffs, in the Western Conference playoffs. They defeated the Oakland Soul in extra time, 2-1, and then 2 days later they played the Colorado Storm, and they lost to the hands of the Storm 1-0 down in Davis. Goal scored about halfway through the first half. It was a real scorcher out there on the field. I had texted owner Ryan Perkins a little bit about it, and he said it was kind of miserable how hot it was. And so for the second year in a row, our women's team makes the national playoffs. We're very proud of what they've been able to do. And speaking of playoffs, the Artesians women in the Cascadia Premier League are also in their championship for the league, and they kicked off just about 7 minutes ago in Puyallup. So great seasons by our women's teams here in Olympia. So the Stars kick off. Ball kicked out of bounds, throw in, just on their side of midfield. Carmel sends it up, headed away. Stars will now have a throw-in just outside the final third. Played back by Carmel, headed away by Dutra. Savdi almost able to get to that ball, but the Stars have it again up their left wing. Suber being challenged. Aldred coming back to help out. Ball now played back into the midfield in the back line of the Stars, and they lose possession. Aldred now on it. Sends it to Weatherby. Here comes Savdi down the line. See if he can pass or have a go himself. And the ball gets kicked away at the last moment by the Stars, and the Artesians will have their first corner of the match. And here comes the corner for the Artesians, just over the head of Dutra. Tacoma still getting challenged. Ball's going to be kicked out of bounds just outside of the 18. Seimerling throws in. Fox stands it up. McKenzie in the mix there too. And Falk is brought down, and the referee points to the spot. Or does he rule this to be just outside of the 18? He's standing just outside of the 18. I thought he was pointing right at the spot, but he's saying the foul was made just outside of the 18. If we had VAR, I would love to see it. He's literally going to place the ball right on the 18, right on the box. It really seemed to me that he just doesn't want to give a penalty and that the foul was made just inside, but he was closer than I am, that's for sure. So we got Savdi on it. Here comes Aldred, drives it in. Looks like it deflects off the goalkeeper, a defender, and it's going to be yet another corner for the Artesians. Aldred heading over for this one. a few extra players up, including Dutra, who is definitely going to be eyeballing that back post. Cade Weatherby inside of the 6. Ball gets headed away by Ethan Conati of the Stars, and another corner for the Artesians. Looks like Cade Weatherby will be starting from a little higher. He was being a pest in front of the goalkeeper on the last corner. Dutra again looking for the back post. McKenzie also going back post. Ball gets kicked away. Not quite as good of a corner on that last one. Another throw-in for the Artesians. Suber to throw it in. Throw-in made, kick into the box. Nothing doing. Guerrero tries to send it back forward, headed away by the Stars. And here comes Tacoma. Ball lost. Long distance shot taken by Guerrero. And Masu doesn't have to do much to keep it out of the back of the net. Played up the right wing again to Carmel. Carmel still has it. Plays it back into the feet of their defensive midfielder, Abdella. Back to Abdella. To Spur, the former Artesians indoor player. And the Stars lose the ball, and here comes Olympia quick. Savdi with the ball on his feet, sends it out wide to Aldred. And Aldred will lose the ball to Spur, who is now dancing up the left wing for the Stars. Ball gets taken away by Dutra, who's done a fantastic job for the Artesians all season long. Manny Nicasio at midfield. Played again to Abdella of the Stars. Looking for options, not much going for them. Ball flicked on towards Eddie Na and headed away by the Artesians. Nicasio now fighting for the ball with McKenzie. Nicasio ends up with it. Ball cleared away, but only as far as Carmel. Ball sent in the box. Another big clearance. Almost straight to the feet of Falk. Savdi up there applying pressure, but here come the Stars yet one more time. Flick on made to Souza. What can he do with it? Dutra on him. And Souza will dribble out of the box, trying to find some sort of options. Flick made in, straight into the hands of our goalkeeper, Avery Olson from Everett Community College. Dutra will play it long and headed back right away for the Stars. The Artesians are going to have to find a way to hang on to the ball a little bit more. I thought the amount of possession had started to level out there, but the Stars have really been on it here in the last little bit. Oh, goodness. Ball is played in, headed towards the goal. However, I believe that was Na was in an offside position when he headed it towards goal. Little bit of a nervy moment there for the Artesians. Hopefully they're able to get this one long and hold some sort of possession or get dangerous with it. Falk heads it out wide. Aldred. Sent out wide to McKenzie, who's now fighting Manny Nicasio for the ball. And Nicasio will lose the ball out of bounds before he can send it back upfield. Come the Artesians throw into Falk. Trying to get it to Savdi there. Nothing doing. Guerrero now has to play back to Dutra. Played out wide to Suber. With a little bit of room on the right side. Weatherby to Aldred, who will lose the ball with 3 white shirts around him. Spur tries to get out of trouble there, but he loses the ball out of bounds. Another throw-in for Sebastian Suber, our right back from Rider University. Here's Savdi. Doing a great job to get around a few people. Willie Spur puts his fist onto the ground, and Savdi, just like that, weaves his way around a couple defenders, including a frustrated Willie Spur, who hits his fists against the ground in frustration, and then puts yet another defender on the ground before he has a rip just outside the 18, puts it in the corner netting. Have a goal, Chad Savdi, our man from the University of Washington. That was something special. That is Savdi's 4th goal in the USL 2 season. And he had a hat trick against Crossfire in a friendly, so 7 goals overall on this season. Tacoma kicks it off, gets it upfield rather quickly. And here they come with their 2nd corner of the night. Played short. And a shot taken by Juan Mendoza. Puts it off frame. And a goal kick upcoming for the Artesians. We would like to thank our sponsor, Dancing Goats Coffee. Great coffee made the right way for coffee lovers by coffee lovers. Our sponsor for every goal this season in the USL. We couldn't do a lot of what we do here in the Artesians program without our sponsors. So big thank you to our goal sponsor for the season, Dancing Goats Coffee. Throwing made all the way over to Cody Carmel. I've been saying his name a lot. They've been coming up this right side a fair amount with Carmel. Konati with the ball again. Souza plays into space. Now back to Souza. Fires it into the box. Headed away. And the Stars will have yet another corner kick. Corner played in. Spur now with the ball. And he is dispossessed. Savdi trying to dance through 4 white shirts. He's dispossessed. Here comes Ethan Canati. Sends it in a little bit too far. Arazo now on the ball. Arazo tries to send it in. And a shot taken by Mason Abdella over the frame. And another goal kick for the Artesians. Goal kick sent quite long by Olsen. Quite the boot right there for him. And here comes Tacoma. Ball played immediately to the center back. And he's going to come up the left side. Canati sends it long. Dutra heads it away. Only gets as far as Willie Spur. To Souza, midfield. Plays it into Abdella. Back to Abdella again. Spur tries to flick it on in. Souza and into the arms of Avery Olsen. Not quite sure what just happened here. It looks like a penalty is being called. I didn't quite see. Full disclosure, folks, I definitely have a post in between me and where the man is down on the field there, so I did not see the foul. But the spot is being pointed to. And in just a moment here, we'll get Van Crisp onto the stream, the GM for our USLW side. Again, they had very successful season making the playoffs for the second year in a row in our second year of existence in the USLW. Looks like that is Juan Mendoza going to take the PK, trying to tie this thing up for the Stars. Slow walks it, puts it into the keeper's right side, and just like that, we are tied up yet again with a second goal scored by the Stars in the 37th minute. All right, so while we are waiting for this kickoff to happen, let's welcome to the broadcast our USLW General Manager, Van Crisp. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Sucks to see that one just get called, but
yeah,
I'm sure that it looks like the guys have a couple more goals in them tonight. So
yeah, this game seems to be pretty open.
Yeah. And it's nice to be watching soccer instead of working it this weekend after spending playoffs in California last weekend, which was fun, disappointing. You know, you get the whole wide range of emotions when you travel for playoffs.
Yeah. How was the travel? How was the California experience for all y'all?
Oh, it was good. Luckily, like our team, we had a really good group of players this year that gelled really well. And we were able to bring in 3 new players that had never played on the team before that played in that first Oakland game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Because we lost both of our goalkeepers because they're both alternates for their national teams for the Olympics. And then, we were missing some defensive players, so we brought some new players in. So it was cool to see them. They just kind of immediately clicked and
that's awesome.
Played Friday night in Oakland and won in overtime.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that first one? That had to have been pretty cool, and it seemed like there was a pretty good crowd there in Oakland as well.
Yeah, they did a good job. You know, I'll give them credit where it's due there. Like they ran it like they do their men's side, so their men's side is professional side. They're in the USL Championship. So, you know, they had a liaison for us as the traveling team. They had tons of resources, a nice locker room. It was a good operation, and the crowd was good. The players couldn't hear each other on the field, which was new for them. So it was a really cool atmosphere that they create down there. But that also made it that much cooler to beat them.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. No, and of course we got such a fantastic team with a super deep player pool, and how does that all come together? To be able to recruit all these players nationally and you know, it just, especially on the women's side, I know there's a lot of fairly local guys here on the men's team, but, you know, when you look up and down the roster for the women's team and you got players from Canada that are playing at USF and another player playing at Memphis, like how does this all come together?
Chris Wells. Our sporting director, Chris Wells, he works for Seattle U and does a lot of recruiting for them, but he also is just really good at his job and is a good judge of bringing talent in and, who's going to be a good fit. And I think, it can't be a mistake that after 2 years he's done the same thing both years. So.
Yeah, and even a game better this year. So how was that, we see here Tacoma taking a corner but straight into the hands of Avery Olson. How did that second game go there, Ed? I watched some of the stream, and it looked, I think I could feel the heat from my television. It looked hot down there.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was.
And wasn't that game? What time,
I think
what
I
time
lost
did that game
5 pounds. So the game was originally supposed to be played at 8 p.m. due to the heat factor at Davis, California, where it was 106 degrees during the day.
Yeah.
But we had an issue because we needed to get players home because a lot of them had to report to school on Monday at 6 a.m.
Oh, geez.
So we just logistically wouldn't have had enough players to play in an 8 p.m. game on Sundays. So we were able to work with the league and the Colorado Storm team, the team we played on Sunday, and get that switched to earlier.
That's rough.
Yeah.
On a lot of levels there. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. It was, we played there last year in our one playoff game that we played down there, but it's a rough place, and I don't know why USL has 2 different locations for these games that are 2 hours apart. That seems like an interesting choice. So hoping next year, we can get a single playoff location.
Yeah, I kind of jokingly texted Ryan Perkins, one of the owners here, and hey, what does it take to get a game here at South Sound Stadium? And I didn't hear back, but on that particular one, ball played in here to Leonard Falk, and now has it inside the 18. Gets to Savdi, who will dance with the ball across the end line. Goal kick for the Stars. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic to be able to have something like that here in the South Sound and be able to have a couple playoff games. So fingers crossed.
The bid process is a bit complicated for that, for bringing games here. Because you have to make sure that you've secured the resources and But, which is funny because when we went down there, we had to get vans from a guy off Turo. So, because they were out of vans. It's 4th of July weekend in the Bay Area,
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. So, what do you guys think about next year then? What's coming up? Any plans yet? Or are you guys just okay, we made it through the season. We're going to rest for a moment.
I'm giving myself a minute. But as a group, we're always looking towards the future. Those of us in the, leadership roles, and we just want to secure the same kind of quality that we had this year to move on to next year. And, even with the addition of Ballard to the women's side, FC Olympia has such a long history with being supportive of their women's teams, and the experience that players have gotten in the last 2 years when they've come to play here, I think, really speaks for itself. And they've, told us that they had no idea that their summer would be this good, and they loved playing here, and they loved the people that they got to meet and the training environment. So I'm hoping that that can help us stand on our own 2 feet when we're getting. There's a challenge in recruiting players later. Yeah,
that was kind of one of my first thoughts when I heard the announcement this week that Ballard was going to be entering the USLW. That, kind of picking from the same player pool since we're not all too far away from one another. Yeah, ball played in right there. That's Souza again, his second goal of the night for the Stars. Unfortunate turn of events here in the 45th minute. We just might see ourselves going into the second half down 3-2 after being up 2-1. after that fantastic wonder goal by Chad Sabdi.
Yeah, what a strike.
That was
I was
insane.
walking around the field, and I saw him hit it, and I was like, oh, my God.
Did you see him put 2 defenders on his butt first?
No.
Yeah, that was the best part.
No, I saw the strike, and then I saw the backflip.
Yeah. It was
like
everything about it was A+. I don't know. Maybe Chad can pay Brandon Cartwright to make a clip and send it to ESPN today or something. Maybe. So we're now entering some extra time here. So, Van, before I let you go, I want to give a little shout out to something that you and your best friend are doing here. I am a voracious podcast soccer listener, and not too long ago I found out that you and your friend Coop are doing a podcast. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because you guys had a pretty big announcement with that recently.
Yeah, so we started the podcast because there wasn't one.
Yes.
We'd been complaining for, I swear, years. They're like, oh, why don't the Reign have a weekly podcast? And then, I got on my Audacity train and went, I'll do it. Why don't we do it? And then I'm texting Brandon, asking him questions, and reaching out to the guys that do the Sounders podcast, Lobbing Scorchers, and they're great. And, so we just started one, and it's been really fun. We just joined the Sounder at Heart podcast network, which is cool.
Yeah.
Meet up on Zoom every week and chat about soccer like we do anyway, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's gotten the people that have listened to it have liked it, and we continue to get better because we're not professionals at this.
No, I mean, the first time I listened in, I know Coop had said you guys had practiced a few times through, and like it showed. So like, yeah, you guys sound great, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm a huge fan of the Reign as well as the Sounders and our local Artesians here, and it had been a while since there was a regular Reign podcast, and I kind of always felt like, well, what's up with that? I want to know what's going on, especially with last season. They make it all the way to the championship, and there's kind of nobody in the podcast atmosphere doing anything that is Reign related. So it's been really cool to see that you guys have taken that up. As you guys have pointed out, they're a little disappointing this year, but it is really cool to be able to open up my Spotify and now have multiple options on things to listen to as I'm driving around, whether it's the regular No Satietes on the Sounder at Heart feed, or now Lobbing Scorchers and the Cooler Guild. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun to do. If you ever want to start a podcast about something you're remotely interested in, just do it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us here as we check this out. The last couple minutes, I'm sure there's going to be a few minutes of at a time, and actually there it goes.
There it ends.
There it ends. So,
well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so again, ladies and gentlemen, that was Van Crisp, the general manager of our USLW team. She just happened to be walking by up here, and I told Brandon Cartwright, hey, let's get her on, man. Thank you for joining us. And, folks, we'll take a quick break here during halftime. We are entering the half with the Tacoma Stars leading our Ole Artesians by a score of 3-2. We'll be back in just a few.
What makes the only local mutual bank different? It's giving back and helping out in amazing ways. With caring, personal service from a bank that values community belonging. And most important, putting real relationships above the bottom line. That's how a mutual bank works. That's OlyFed.
Meet my husband.
Oh, we got Kegnog once, didn't we?
Yep.
What can I get started for you?
The smash filled chicken bites and the white with cider.
Cider, yeah. We just got root beer and fries. Kind of a treat. When did you try that? It's really fun.
So really, try out a new place. This place looks awesome.
We have really good Brussels sprouts here. They're taught thoroughly. Let's do 2 Artesians.
Ooh, can I get a Leopold's? my husband.
No, we got eggnog once, didn't we?
Yep.
What can I get started for you?
The smash fill chicken bites and the white with cider.
Cider, yeah. We just got root beer and fries. It's kind of a treat. I wanted to try that. It's really good.
Well, you can try out a new place. This place looks awesome.
We have really good Brussels sprouts here. They're taught thoroughly. Let's do 2 Artesians.
Ooh, can I get a Leopold's?
Welcome back to South Sound Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, for our final USL2 match of the season. The Artesians are starting off this second half in the hole 3-2. Again, scoring from the first half, Tacoma started things off in the 12th minute with a goal by Souza, but then Oli is able to pull two. Leonard Fox scoring in the 18th, and Chad Savdi with an incredible goal in the 31st, dribbling through three defenders, sending two of them onto their keisters before firing an absolute great shot into the side netting from outside the 18. And there we sat for only 6 minutes. Tacoma gets another goal in the 37th and then pulls ahead in the 45th with a second goal for Felipe Souza, the left winger. Looks like a couple subs may have been made here. Levi Hawk now on the left wing for the Artesians. Some contact made there, and Tacoma player back down on the field. That was Sebastian Navarro on the ground for the Stars. Nice to see him be able to get up. Here comes Manny Nicasio on the right wing. Plays it into Willie Spur. Two former Artesians. Foul made by Enrique Guerrero, the defensive midfielder for the Artesians from Seattle U. Little bit of a dangerous position here for the Artesians. The Stars put 4 players around the spot with Manny Nicasio at the top of the D. And a 5th player will come close to the 6th. And now a 7th. Shot. Looks like it ricocheted off a Tacoma player and gets into the backside netting. And just like that, folks, Tacoma here in the 48th minute is now up 4-2. Sebastian Navarro, who was just on the ground a moment ago, the man that's able to flick on the ball into the back of the net. And here come the Artesians. Played out wide to Aldred. He is not able to make a connection. Nathan Amasu, the Stars goalie with it, sends it out wide. Nicasio on the left wing. Back to Carmel. Gets only as far as Dutra, who corrals it, sends it all the way back to Avery Olson. Willie Spur corrals the ball for the Stars, sends it out to Arazo. Canati all the way back to Carmel. And he's going to lose the ball to Falk. Falk not able to hang on to it, though. Excellent ball sent out into the left wing. Here comes Arazo. He tries to fire a ball in straight into the arms of Olsen. Dutra long to Aldred. And here come the Artesians. Oh no, ball lost. Errant pass. Nicasio back to Navarro. Takes it all the way to his back line. Looks like Quinn Bieber is down onto the field too. Quinn from Northland College, a sophomore there. Originally from the South Sound here in Lakewood. The D-mid, Mason Abdallah, gets through a couple people. Back to Spur, now out wide. Cross played in, deflected away. And shot taken, spilled out by Olsen. And Farhan Mustafa has to be Johnny on the spot and send it across the end line. Dangerous play right there. I thought for sure that Olsen was going to be able to keep that ball in his hands. Tacoma now plays it. Ball shielded away. Enrique Guerrero, the man able to see that ball across the end line, and now a goal kick for the Artesians. Avery Olsen's going to send pretty much everybody up the field. And sends this ball exactly onto the halfway line. Guerrero with the ball there, but Willie Spur will kick it out of bounds for a throw-in. We'd like to take a moment here again to thank our sponsors for the 2024 season. Again, all of this cannot happen without our sponsors. As we get a foul on the ball there. Free kick to the Artesians. We want to thank our goal sponsor, Dancing Goats Coffee, ethically sourced, sustainably crafted, exceptional coffee. Big thank you to Van Dorm Realty, your South Puget Sound real estate experts. Forma Construction for delivering detailed analysis and job sites focused on safety and efficiency. A thank you to Ramada by Wyndham. Book your hotel reservation with confidence with Ramada. And here in downtown, Well 80, well-made beer and great food open daily at 11:30 a.m. Premier Airport and Shuttle for their convenient and affordable Seattle Airport transportation for over 50 years. And our last title sponsor, Nicole's Bar, located in downtown Olympia. Food, drinks, and fun for everyone. I'm pretty sure that's our regular play-by-play man, John McGlamory's favorite spot. He mentions them quite fondly every time he does these reads. Brandon, our director here, is nodding his head yes. Goal kick taken by the goalkeeper, Admasu. Sends it across the midway line. Ball tries to get cleared away, but it gets straight into the chest of Souza. Played backwards. Artesians under quite a bit of pressure here. Quinn Bieber, a little unlucky there. Ball was at his feet. He was trying to turn. Stars player gets in between him and the ball for a split second there. And as Bieber's turning, sends him to the ground. Foul on Bieber. Ball is sent in and into the back of the net. And boy, folks, I feel exactly the same way as Avery Olson. I'm kind of stunned here. I don't exactly know what just took place here onto the field. But either way, a fifth goal into the back of the net. Looks like the referee is also having a talking to with one of the players as he heads on back for Tacoma. The Artesians standing around the 30-yard line trying to regroup here. And an absolute stunner here for the Artesians as they now see themselves down 5-2 in this final match of the season. Weatherby on into Bieber. Potential foul. The referee says play on. Bieber's pass is intercepted. Here comes the Stars yet again. Spur into Arazo. Razo looks wide to Eddie Na. Na sprinting up the left line. Ball sent in. Cleared away by Guerrero. Ball is out of bounds, and the AR says it will be Artesians' ball. Dutra plays it long, only gets as far as Konati of the Stars. Artesians look to settle. Played long to Hawk. Hawk with a sprint to the ball, and the Stars cleared away to Manny Nicasio. Arazo on the left wing gets around Suber. And the Tacoma Stars, who are now up by 3 goals here early in the second half, are going to make a couple substitutions. So Willie Spur, former Artesians indoor player, comes off. Looks like our first one is Gabriel Fernandez, who receives the ball, gets involved right away. And our other substitute is Johnny Ramirez, playing more of an attacking mid-role. Nicasio with the ball, gets inside the 18. Looks like Farhan Mustafa was trying to clear that one away. Gets it off the foot of Nicasio and goes across the end line for a goal kick. Olsen sends it long. This time across the halfway line. Bieber now with it. Loses the ball. And here comes Eddie Nah. Ball lost. Olsen plays it a little bit too far. Nicasio able to intercept it. He's having quite a game on that right wing for the Stars. Ball played in and scooped up by Olsen. Fancy footwork right there for Mustafa. Ball to Bieber. Gets it to Hawk. Little something going on for the Artesians. Hawk was a little bit by himself there. The Artesians are going to have to play negative. Guerrero now under pressure. Gets it to Mustafa. Loses the ball for the moment. Bieber almost gets it to Falk. Ball cleared away. And that's going to go out of bounds to one of our ball girls. Right back, Sebastian Suber to throw it in just outside the 18 for the Artesians. Dutra fakes the play long, sends it back to Olsen. Olsen will reverse the field of play, but kick it out of bounds. Throw in now just outside the final third for the Stars. Players get tangled up there. Levi Hawk is fouled on the play. And a free kick coming to the Artesians. Ball played out of bounds by the Artesians. Just want to do a quick thank you again to the general manager of our USLW team, Van Crisp. Great interview to end our first half of play. She was great. Does a great job with that USLW team. Again, they've been around for just 2 years, but they have found some great success making the national playoffs these 2 seasons. Making the final 16 last year, final 8 this year. It's great to see their success. And pretty cool to see the women's game grow too here in the United States, especially in the last 10 years or so. Excellent ball there played by Johnny Ramirez. Eddie Nah on it. Gets to the end line, swings it a little bit too far. An attempted bicycle kick there, but he's in the middle of a couple Artesians players. And it looked like there was an attempted shot there. They were crying for a handball, but here comes Leonard Falk. 5-on-1. He loses the ball eventually. Nicasio now out to Fernandez. Fernandez into Souza, who is now at the 9 position for the Stars. Started this game out at the left wing. He's sitting on a hat trick at the moment. I'm sure he would like to score one more goal before this game ends. Guerrero to Hawk. A little bit too wide, though. Looks like the Artesians are going to make a couple more subs. Exiting the field will be defensive midfielder Enrique Guerrero and our right back Sebastian Suber. On to the field to play for the Artesians is number 2, Jack Good. Another defensive midfielder from Seattle Pacific, a junior there, originally from Boise, Idaho. As soon as I can tell who that other sub is way over on the other side of the field, I'll let you guys know. Foul on Tacoma. Ball played back to Dutra. Sends it long towards Hawk. Nicasio almost looks like he misplays the ball or some miscommunication with his teammate there. However, they get it to Nicasio, loses the ball, and the Artesians are back in business. Ball gets past the Hawk, and the Stars defenders correctly call the offside. Call the third such call against the Artesians on the night. Admasu with a short play, but the Stars will lose the ball and then gain it right back. Big shove in the back there. It's Lucas Jank with the shove in the back, and he's our other new player on the field. So we now have Lucas Seimerling at the right back position. Originally it started at left. And Jank is now in the right back position with Mustafa and Dutra in the middle. Most of the matches so far this year, Farhan Mustafa has been starting as a left back, doing quite an admirable job in that role. Nicasio again has found himself with the ball at his feet quite a bit today. It's Navarro there trying to get around the defender, and he sends the ball out of bounds. 3 more subs coming up for the Tacoma Stars. With them being up by 3, they're probably going to use as many subs as they possibly can. Just heard an announcement in the stadium. In fact, I just got a text message, too, from one of our owners here, Ryan Perkins. An update for our Artesians 2 women's team playing in the Cascadia Premier Championship. Chelsea still with a goal just before the halftime whistle, and the Artesians are up 1-0 over Washington Premier in the Cascadia Premier League Championship match. Very cool to hear. Several of those players were on the Artesians team a few years back when they won the championship in their league. And then not too long after that, it was announced that we would start a USL W team. And so a few of those girls found themselves without a team for a year. So I was quite excited to hear that they had a home to play this year as we were able to start a second side in the Cascadia Premier League for those women players. Looks like that's Diego Hernandez right there with the ball at his feet. One of the subs coming in for the Stars. And that's Sazi Kamau, also one of the new players onto the field for the Stars. Referee blowing a whistle here. Looks like somebody lost a shin guard. Trying to figure out who lost it. One of those funny stoppages. We finally found the man who has lost his shin guard. That's Gabriel Fernandez. Realizes he doesn't have a shin guard in his right stocking anymore. All right, we'll get started again. Ball thrown into Falk. To Aldred. Tries to play it into space for Hawk. Levi Hawk able to get the ball. Tries to dance around his man. Hernandez tries to clear it. Hits it right into the feet of his own man. And now they're finally able to clear it away. Ball lost again. Bieber tries to make a pass into Falk and loses possession. Here comes Eddie Nah, speeding down the left wing into the 18. Played across, sent away by Farhan Mustafa. Gets to the feet of Dutra, who clears it long back to midfield. Dutra there again with the header. And what a fantastic season Tanner Dutra has had for this Artesian side. Just a real stalwart in the back line. And it looks like we're going to have our first yellow card of the night. Levi Hawk is taken down right at midfield along the left wing. I couldn't quite tell exactly who he has given that yellow card to. I'm waiting for the player to turn just a little bit so I can see the number on the back of his jersey, but I believe he's standing there at the top of the D. So Mustafa and Dutra, the only players back for the Artesians, with the exception of the goalkeeper. Mustafa will play it deep and easily corralled by the Stars goalkeeper, Nathan Admasu. Admasu with a cannon for a leg. Sends it as far as Mustafa's head, but he's not able to get it. A definite shove in the back right there. The referee not at a good angle to see that one, unfortunately. But in the end, it almost doesn't matter. Stars still have the ball, but they have to go negative with it. Here's Carmel again. Sends it out wide to Kamau. Here's Ramirez. Back to Abdella. Kamau at the top of the box, sends it negative to Fernandez. Stars in no rush here as they lead by 3. Sebastian Navarro gets a little shovey right there. And here comes Tanner Dutra with a long kick towards Falk and Hawk. Falk gets ahead on it. They're still battling for the ball on the Stars' right wing, and they're able to get the ball up the field, cross the midway line. Souza with it. Again, Souza sitting on a hat trick, 2 goals scored in that first half. Seimerling Gets the ball into the 18, loses it. Dutra sends it right back in to Good. Dutra again. Slow pass to Mustafa. Eddie Nah right there, ready to pounce on it. Here comes a long kick into the 18. Nothing doing. And the Stars will get out of pressure as they send it over to Kamau on the left wing. Kamau beats his man into the half space, sends it long to Johnny Ramirez. Ramirez able to get it before it goes out of bounds. He's beyond the 18. Sends it in with the outside of his foot. Tricky bounce. Avery Olson able to get his hands on it. Collides with his near post. And the ball gets kicked out of bounds by one of the Stars players. I think the referee has just stopped for another sub for our Artesians. Tyler Aldred will come out of this match. And now onto the field is Owen Albrecht. He's played at Lincoln High School, Lincoln of Seattle. Plays his club ball at Seattle United. If I remember correctly, just graduated about a month and a half ago. Here's Levi Hawk. Looks to get across the midline. Tries to pass to Bieber. Makes an errant pass. That is quickly scooped up by the Stars. And here they come again. In no rush. Passing the ball around from wing to wing. Waiting until something opens up. Navarro back to Abdella. Eddie Nah checks all the way back from his 9 position into the midfield. And ball just slowly being taken around the back as the Artesians will just settle into a mid-block here, waiting for something to happen. Of course, we're down by 3 in the 75th minute. We're eventually going to have to apply some pressure onto this back line. Back to Carmel. And here come the Stars finally. Ball back to Albrecht. Man who just came onto the field. Seimerling. To Good, played out wide to Hawk. Hawk nearly loses the ball. Here's Farhan Mustafa. Tries to play long. Ball gets kicked away, and he's going to have to play it back to Dutra, right back to Mustafa. Back to... No, Mustafa will be able to get out of that one, but he tries to play it out wide to Levi Hawk. And it looks like a couple more subs are going to be made. The Tacoma Stars will sub off their goalkeeper. And the Artesians are going to make one sub as well. Lucas Seimerling's night is over. And taking his spot will be Tanner Fricke from Washington Premier, but also from right here locally, from Capitol High School. Pretty cool to see a few of our very, very local boys getting onto the field. Ball played long to the top of the 18. Carmel gets sent to the deck. He pops up right away. Ball tries to get played in. Ball played into the top of the 6. Kamau able to get it up the line. Ramirez with the ball now for the Stars. Tricky situation for the Stars, but they're able to get out of it. Levi Hawk now takes that ball away. Sent into Leonard Falk. Back to Hawk on the left wing. The Artesians are in business here. Pass is shielded away. And just like that, as soon as you think the Artesians have something going, they lose the ball to the Stars, who again are just content to play possession ball. Stars again sitting in 3rd place here in the Northwest Division of the Western Conference of the USL 2. Unfortunately for them, this will also be their last game of the season, as the playoff positions were secured a game or two earlier. Again, Ballard FC, as Olsen has to make a save, but before he has to make the save, the offside flag is raised. Second offside of the match for the Stars. Getting back to the standings, though, our 2 playoff positions had been decided before this match. Ballard in first place with 26 points. Actually, it should be 29 points now, as they beat West Seattle Junction earlier today 2-0. And United PDX sitting in second. The difference between those 2 teams going into today's games was goal differential. Ballard will end with a plus 24 goal differential. United PDX going into their match today had only surrendered 9 goals in 13 matches. So while their goal differential is not as impressive as Ballard's, they've been very stingy on defense. Here comes Hawk beyond the 18, gets through a couple defenders. He's going to have a crack, and that shot is blocked. Good now, heads it forward for Mustafa. Gets a little shove in the back there. Pretty sure the referee is, no, the referee will say that is a foul rather than a throw in with that shove in the back. And we got another little extracurriculars going on right here. Cade Weatherby getting shoved to the ground. Heading into about the final 10 minutes or so in this one. Again, what a wonderful evening for soccer here at Kickoff. It was 79 degrees outside. There's still not a single cloud in the sky. I know the kids had fun with the foam cannon here today. And I could barely hear through my headset our announcer for the night, Ryan Perkins, announcing 20% off merch. So I don't know, if you're sitting at home and you can get here quickly, come on down and get 20% off merch. I know you can also buy some items at Wembley Soccer Shop as well. Falk sends it across the face of goal. I know one of the Artesians players was trying to argue that it was deflected out of bounds by a Stars player, but it looks like it's going to be a throw-in real deep for the Stars. Kamau throws it in. Flicked on Eddie Nah. Man, what speed Nah has. Mustafa gets around Kamau. Mustafa's still with the ball. Plays it in back to Mustafa, but ball is kicked away. Here's Falk. One-on-one into space. He tries to play it across the face of goal again. And the AR does agree with the Artesians this time that it did deflect off a defender's foot. And the Artesians will have their 5th corner of the night. Lucas Jank out to take this one. Ball sent in long. Although the referee will say there is a foul during the process of that corner. New goalkeeper for the Stars, Mason Averill. He's standing on this one, and he'll play it out towards Kamau. Plays it too far, straight to Farhan Mustafa. Mustafa gets around Kamau again. Plays a nice one into Bieber. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do there. I think he was trying to play a more angled ball for Levi Hawk, who has to keep the keeper honest, run at him so that he picks up the ball. Ball out to Craig Johnson. Stars have used every single sub that they brought here. And a nice little save there from Avery Olson. Ball pops into his hands, and here come the Artesians. Hawk taking on a couple players. He's going to lose the ball. Doesn't get quite cleared away yet. I'm not sure what Mason Abdullah was trying to do, but he kicks it straight out of bounds. And a throw in for the Artesians. Although he's not messing around with that one. Literally kicks it over the stadium. That is a first for me. This is not a huge stadium, but that is the first time I personally have seen a ball kicked over it. Somebody over there threw the ball back in already. I don't. Somebody on the other side of the stadium has quite an arm, or maybe they booted it themselves. Anyways, while that's going down, we have a corner for the Artesians. And, that was Tanner Dutra trying to make something magical happen. With back to goal, swings around on that one and sends a looping ball just over the crossbar. That would have been really nice for the Artesians, especially for Tanner Dutra, who, again, has had just a great season on the back line. That would have been cool to see him get on the score sheet as well. Defenders oftentimes not so rewarded on the offensive side of things to get a goal or an assist. Falk with a little pass back. Stars able to maintain possession. Fernandez plays it to the other outside back. Ball is lost. Bieber to Hawk. Back to Bieber. Falk able to get a little something on it, but the Stars now able to play it back to their goalkeeper, Averill. Averill will send it long to Eddie Nah. But Tanner Dutra able to gobble up that ball before Nah can get to it. Comes Bieber, tries to send it into the 9. Pass gets booted away. A little shove in the back right there for the Artesians. He's going to get a quick talking to. Basically told, hey, you had another one of these dumb fouls over here. That's another dumb one. I'm putting words into the mouth of the referee. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but that's essentially what he was saying here. Holds up one finger and says, not one more. And then he shoved that finger straight into the sky and seemed to be saying, one more and you're going to get a yellow card, kid. Long played ball, but straight into the arms of Olsen. I would say wasted opportunity for the Stars, but again, they're not in any rush to be scoring goals as they already have a comfortable 3-goal lead here late. 3 minutes left in regulation as we're getting late into this one. I can't imagine there being a lot of extra time, too, as there were just the 2 goals. The substitutions seem to happen pretty quick. No injuries. I'd have to imagine maybe 1 or 2 minutes of added time at the end of this one. Bieber out wide to Fricky, who was taken down. Mustafa now pushed out to the right back position. Dutra on the ball. Leonard Falk calling for it way up there. And he's going to get ahead on it. Can't quite make it back to Levi Hawk. Ball gets cleared away by the Stars back line. Ball flicked on. Eddie Naw being shielded off the ball. He's going to end up with it anyways. Sends it to Kamau. Kamau now with it in a dangerous spot. Played back to the keeper. Not able to use his hands as a playback. He clears it out of the 18 from inside of his own 6. Here comes Kamau again into the 18. Long shot played now. And it hits the American football crossbar. Goal kick to the Artesians. Nice crowd here in South Sound Stadium. Getting pumped up with the Oli, Oli, Oli chant. Here comes Kamau again. Across the halfway line. Into the left wing. Plays a negative back to Fernandez. Abdullah dribbles through some trouble there. Dutra now on the ball for the Artesians as they look to build something as we're now in the final minute of regulation. Ball now played up to Levi Hawk. And the Artesians will lose that ball out of bounds. Throw in to the Stars. Looks like the 4th official has put up a single finger. Looks like we'll have about 1 minute of added time for this match. Hawk tries to play a through ball into a couple sprinting Artesians players. Kamau to Fernandez. Fernandez swings in across. Dangerous. And Craig Johnson fires a ball that Avery Olsen is able to get his fingers on and sends it over the crossbar. Fantastic save by Avery Olsen, who's had a couple of good saves in this one. And a corner kick to the Stars, who are taking their sweet time to go get this one. This might be the final action of the game and the final action of the 2024 season. They'll kick it short. See if they will try to play one more in. Ball gets booted away by the Artesians defenders. And the referee has seen enough. And that, folks, will take us to the end of our final match of the 2024 season for our USL 2 men's team. Been a tough season for the men's side, as last year they were able to make the playoffs, make it to the final 16, only to lose to the eventual champions, Ballard FC. and they find themselves just outside of last place in the Northwest Division. So they'll drop their final match of the season by a score of 5-2, and they will end the season with a 3-7-4 record. And as down as that sounds, we do have to shout out a couple goal scorers for the Artesians, though. Leonard Falk gets his 5th goal of the season in the 18th minute. And again, Chad Savdi, forward for the University of Washington, with just an absolute stunner of a goal, puts a midfielder on his keister, gets past the second midfielder, then puts a center back on his keister before he fires the ball into the corner net from just outside the 18. A fantastic goal for Savdi, and he ends his season with 4 goals in USL play. Just wrap it up. I'll do a bunch of thank yous. All right, folks, before we wrap up today's broadcast, let's thank again all of our sponsors. We want to thank our title sponsors, Dancing Goats Coffee, Van Dorm Realty, Forma Construction, Ramada by Wyndham, Well 80, Premier Airport Shuttle, and Nicole's Bar. We want to thank our team partners as well, Thirst and Talk, Wembley Soccer Shop, a place where you can go pick up some Artesians gear, 1030 KMAS, and Sure Clean Car Wash. And also we want to thank our Oli Soccer Foundation partners, Oli Fed Bank, Olympia Orthopedic Associates, and the Nisqually Tribe. Also want to thank everybody who works for the Artesians here. I can see Brad Hansen walking past us. He's does a lot of different things for the team. Ryan Perkins, one of the owners, he will fill in on the PA when needed, does all sorts of things. I'm definitely going to forget lots of people. Want to thank all of our coaches, of course, for the season. Need to thank these fine gentlemen that are running the cameras for us, and Brandon of Cartwright Media. Thank you so much. I do also want to give a thank you to John McGlamory, who does our normal play-by-play. I've really been enjoying filling in for him, and also enjoyed that one night I was out here with him doing some color while he was on the play-by-play. And again, one last thank you for our interview at the end of the first half today, Van Crisp, the general manager for the USLW side. Brandon, is there any other thank yous? Am I missing anybody? The fans, of course. Duh. We want to thank you, fans, for coming out here, buying tickets, buying merch, doing everything to support soccer here in the Northwest and the South Sound. We can't do this without you guys, and it's obviously it's entertainment for us as fans, but also at the same time, like, these are important games and training sessions for these players. The vast majority of these players, and especially on the men's side, all college players or players that are about to enter into college. On the women's side, most of them are also in college, and some of them are looking to go pro. I guess I'll also give one shout out to Mariah Lee, who just signed a professional contract with, was it Lexington? No, DC Power. Yes, DC Power of the USL Super League. That's super cool to see that what we do here at Olympia can be a path to pro for our players, and then also our coaches too. Ben Willis, who's now at Lexington for the Super League. So very cool stuff. So anyways, folks, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Again, thank you for joining in and viewing. Thank you for coming out to games and supporting FC Olympia soccer. Our final tonight's here at South Sound Stadium, the Tacoma Stars 5, the Olympia Artesians 2. I'm Dave Montgomery signing off for this broadcast and the 2024 season. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully soon in a few months when the indoor season gets kicked off. More info on that coming up. Thank you again, and have a great night.